This is QTV News. I am Marietu Sidibe and thanks for joining us. Our top stories. Petroleum Minister not concerned about BP scandal in Senegal. Says government is following due process in dealing with the British company. TRRC to resume public hearings on Monday 10th June 2019. Outreach coordinator urges Gambians to embrace Never Again campaign. Boom in second-hand goods from the West, but what about electronic waste? For more on this and other stories coming up, stay tuned. The energy giant BP, which recently signed an oil exploration deal with the Gambia government, has been implicated in a $10 billion scandal involving the Senegalese president's brother, Alioune Sall, and a disreputable Romanian-Austrian businessman called Frank Timis. This was exposed in a BBC Panorama program, and it has generated interest among Gambians on social media who express concern and reservations over the Gambia's recently signed deal with BP. Babukar C has more.
British Petroleum, BP, signed an offshore petroleum license. The President has been informed that BP will be provided with exclusive right to drill and explore prospects in offshore Block A1.
They are the company exposed in a BBC Panorama documentary aired on Monday. An investigation into a $10 billion scandal involving BP's purchase of stakes in gas licenses off the coast of Senegal is making the rounds on news outlets around the globe. BP, a British multinational oil and gas company headquartered in London, was recently contracted by the Gambia government to explore for oil and gas off Gambia's coast in a potential economic boom for the tiny West African country. A BBC Panorama investigation has revealed that BP has agreed to pay around $10 billion to a businessman involved in a suspicious energy deal. The energy giants bought Frank Timis' stake in a gas field off the coast of Senegal for $250 million in 2017. But documents obtained by BBC Panorama and Africa Eye revealed that BP will also pay his company between $9 billion and $12 billion in royalties. Both BP and Mr. Timis deny any wrongdoings. Gambia's Petroleum Minister Fafa Sanyang said that they have watched the program. His government is not bothered, stressing that the contract they have signed with BP is clean and transparent and that they don't foresee any such problems happening in this country.
Before they sign the license, our license terms are very clear. And we also have our rules in place, which are very clear. So whoever holds the license, the shareholders, the license here is very clear. It is BP, and the participatory interest is to be held by a GNPC. That's an oil company, and no other private individual. So I don't think that can happen in the Gambia anyway. Anyway, the process that we have so far, there's no private individual interest in it anyway, and we did not have any influence from anywhere, above, not from the president, not from anywhere. And with the process, cabinet was informed. We also had training with the National Assembly members to give you the terms and conditions of the license and many other things. So we whatever happened in Senegal, whether true or false, it is completely out of here. I cannot comment on another country's issues, and we haven't had anything from Senegal, not from Peterson or not from anywhere. So I don't know how true or false it is.
Whatever happens as a result of the BBC investigation, oil giants BP, one of the world's largest petroleum companies, have started the groundwork on oil and gas exploration in the Gambia. The A1 block was one of the two that President Adama Barrow's government stripped from Norwegian-listed African Petroleum Corporation in 2017, saying the license has expired. The latter company disputed this and launched arbitration proceedings in October 2017, which have yet to be resolved. In all, the two Gambian offshore blocks are thought to contain up to 3 billion barrels of oil and lie next to licenses in neighboring Senegal, where big discoveries have been made. President Barrow's government is trying to build up Gambia's oil and gas sector as a way of reviving an economy gutted by more than 2 decades of autocratic rule under former President Yahya Jammeh, who fled the country in 2017. Babukar C, QTV News.
The Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure and the Management of National Roads Authority wish to inform the general public that the Senegal Bridge at Bambatenda Yelitenda will be closed to all traffic from 15th to 30th June 2019. The closure is necessary to allow the contractor to carry out the final finishes to the bridge. During the period of this closure, the Gambia Ferry Services will continue the services of ferrying people, vehicles and goods across the river. The Ministry and NRA apologizes sincerely to the travelers using this corridor for this inconvenience and would like to inform the public that service on the bridge will resume on the 1st of July 2019 and the bridge will be open to all vehicle traffic, including trucks. The Outreach Coordinator of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission has urged Gambians to promote peace and national reconciliation in order to realize the Commission's Never Again campaign. He was speaking on Thursday in an exclusive interview with QTV's Ansumana Esonyasi.
While the Commission's main task is to probe into human rights violations that occurred during the 22 years rule of former President Jammeh, part of its mandate is to provide justice and reparations for alleged victims and offer strong recommendations for institutional reform. As the Commission prepares to resume its public proceedings on Monday, we sat down for an exclusive interview with the Outreach Coordinator Imran Dabo. He told QTV that the Commission's Never Again slogan can only be achieved with the support of Gambians.
It's amazing that everybody is interested in learning about what has happened here in the past. But we would like to reiterate to people that it should not be an entertainment thing. It should be something that we try to learn from and try to understand what, where these underlying causes that, initiated such atrocities to happen in this country. And then to be able to reflect and learn. So whilst we have been doing all of these things, we hope that the country has also taken the time to reflect on what they've learned from the beginning of the hearings until now and try to come to terms and come to a resolute determination to ensure that this idea of never again that we are trying to push, that they also have it as a determined thing that they would also try to push, because that requires the support of the entire country. Never again, if it's going to be a reality, not just a slogan, it requires all of us as Gambians to take it up and to ensure that the things that happened and the reasons why they happened, we would try to make sure they'll never happen again.
On the possibility of persons adversely mentioned in witness testimonies appearing before the Commission, he had this to say.
Yeah, there is a high likelihood that some of them will be appearing. I don't know who they are, I don't know the names, but I know that that's how the process goes usually. If anybody that has been mentioned as an alleged perpetrator or as somebody, person of interest, is usually communicated to and asked to take the opportunity to come and also clarify or posit their side of the story. So it's just a continuation of how the process has been going on. In the past, it has been done, and advanced mentioned persons have come and made their testimonies. So we believe that it's going to be the same again.
Meanwhile, he revealed that the Commission plans to hold its first institutional hearing on the media during the 5th session, which is expected to run from Monday, June 10th to Thursday, June 27th. The Commission will hear testimonies from witnesses and victims of the 1996 UDP encounter with security forces at Denton Bridge, the November 11 and Koro Sisa incidents. Ansumana Esonyasi for QTV News.
Ramadan is usually a lucrative sales period for retailers due to consumers actively purchasing food, gifts, clothes and decorative items in preparation for Eid. This year's Eid celebration coincided with the time of the month that salaries are normally paid, which might have led many to splurge their salaries in one festive spree, leaving them with very little to see out the month. Our reporter Ibrahim Balde went out to find out how some of them have been coping.
Expenditure on fish such as korite and tubaski go up substantially. Even though the religion of Islam does not impose any such exorbitance on anybody. Korite this year falling in the beginning of the month For many households who might have spent imprudently, this will be a long hard wait until the next payday. This will have a knock-on effect on traders who feel the pinch as sales slump. Abdullah Jawa said people should spend wisely and know that the feast is only but few days and you have to know there will be a life after the feast.
Feast that usually is celebrated annually, and then usually it requires a lot of expenditures, most especially if you're a family man and you have relatives and there. But then yes, also usually you need to make very good move in terms of expenditure. But then also some people will definitely spend every penny they have in their pocket, and immediately after the quarantine, you will go back to scratch. But yes, in my case, I think I can say I'm kind of lucky that some people kind of like get some cash they're supposed to give me, and before the quarantine some did, but some did, and after that I'm trying to get those to recover. But then also it left me with empty pocket as well. I'm not an exception.
Every year it comes, and when it comes, we normally spend all what we have just to satisfy the family and to meet our needs.
Fatoumata Jallow and Salou Cham said the Korité have taken everything and now they are hoping to work again.
We have spent a lot of money for the Korité. At the moment, I am broke because salaries were paid earlier. That was not favorable, but due to the situation, we have no choice. Now we can only manage until the end of the month.
Even the market is empty due to the last few days of Korité, but thank God for making it come through in peace and hoping to witness many more. Ibrahim Balde, QTV News.
Electronic second-hand goods are among the fastest growing businesses in the country, with most of these being aged or aging imported from Western countries. Many are shipped to Africa. Although these may seem cheap or cost-effective to the consumers, are we aware that most of these imported goods could end up being electronic waste? Maria Tussar reports.
There has recently been a sharp rise in second-hand goods imported into the country. On almost every main highway, shops full of second-hand goods can be seen. These range from clothes, shoes, refrigerators, car spare parts, and much more. Electronic waste generated from these second-hand goods are not properly disposed of, becoming a cause for concern to Kanifing Municipal Council. Lamin Sanyang, Director of Service, says the government needs to take strong measures to regulate this influx of second-hand goods in order to control the type of waste materials generated by them.
Looking at e-waste, we have so many materials that are normally being imported into the country that are second-hand items, which definitely is creating a very big burden to the municipality because they don't last long. Because they are second hands, and then some of them don't last long, and then we don't have the recycling machine to recycle them and reuse them again.
According to a business owner, Mohamed Makalo, importation of second-hand goods has been a lucrative business for him. He also claims that he properly disposed of electronic waste by selling spoiled refrigerators to fishmongers or metal collectors for export.
I
import my goods from the UK. Most of our goods get sold out, but sometimes the damaged ones do not get sold. The refrigerators occupy a lot of space in the container, so if they are damaged, it's a loss for us. The only thing we can do is to sell it out to fishmongers or sell it to metal collectors. We don't throw them on the streets, we make sure they are well disposed.
Abdusalam Salah explains why some second-hand goods remain unsold, ending up as waste materials.
Business mom dafa des yan façon bagage nga ici parce que fum nek nit yi xam nañ quality do second hand la waye tamit nga ici lu baax so ici lu baax mom.
Though I sell second-hand goods, but they of quality second-hand. People are now aware of quality goods. They choose what to buy. The reason why some people have second-hand goods kept in their shops for too long is because they do not import good items.
Electronic waste is one of the fastest growing waste streams. It can contain hazardous materials which pose a risk to human health and the environment, especially in developing countries where there are inadequate controls and safeguards. Africa is considered a dumping ground for the unwanted waste materials from the West, and the amount of electronic or e-waste generated continues to grow rapidly each year. Reporting for QTV News, I am Maria Tussar.
World Environment Day is celebrated on the 5th of June every year. The day seeks to encourage awareness and action for the protection of our environment. Environment Minister Lamin Diba says in his World Environment Day statement that the day provides an opportunity for individuals to work towards ensuring a safe environment. Here is some of what he had to say.
World Environment Day is the biggest, most globally celebrated day for positive environmental action. It was established in 1972 and has grown to become one of the main vehicles through which the United Nations encourage positive actions for the environment. Through the World Environment Day, the brainchild of the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, the day enables everyone to realize not only the responsibility to care for the earth, but also reminds one and all of their individual power to become agent of change. Every action counts, and when we multiply it by global chores, becomes exponential in its impact. Above all, World Environment Day is the People's Day for doing something to take care of the earth. That something can be focused locally, nationally, regionally, and globally. It can also be solo action or involve a crowd. At this juncture, what this signifies is environment is everybody's business. If our environment is not good, it means our livelihoods are affected. And the celebration of this day provides us with the opportunity to broaden the basis for an enlightened opinion and responsible conduct by individuals, enterprises, and communities in preserving and enhancing the environment. Since it began in 1974, it has grown to become a global platform for public outreach that is widely celebrated in more than 100 countries. The government of the Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, has shown great commitment towards the environment and will not relent in this crusade. The government, through the National Environment Agency, has committed to organizing and promoting the World Environment Day's celebrations through a series of engaging activities and events, generating strong public interest and participation.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, let's take a quick look at our main stories. The energy giant BP, which recently signed an oil exploration deal with the Gambia government, has been implicated in a $10 billion scandal involving the Senegalese president's brother Alioune Sall and a disreputable Romanian-Austrian businessman called Frank Timis. This was exposed in a BBC Panorama program, and it has generated interest among Gambians on social media who express concern and reservations over the Gambia's recently signed deal with BP. The Outreach Coordinator of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission has urged Gambians to promote peace and national reconciliation in order to realize the Commission's Never Again campaign. Electronic second-hand goods are among the fastest growing businesses in the country, with most of these being aged or aging imported from Western countries. Many are shipped to Africa. Although these may seem cheap or cost-effective to the consumers, are we aware that most of these imported goods could end up being electronic waste? That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us tomorrow for more news. Thank you for watching.